What's up, y'all? Motherfucking cattle prod. Yeah. This is weird, huh? That sounds so good. I love this. It's Fluids. Fluids 2. It just got wetter. This is fucking amazing. If you've not heard Fluid's first album, go listen to it because it is like Mortician worship. And it's actually good because it's like, I like Mortician, but I want a little bit more song. I want more. These guys give it to you. Like, just like Pharmacist is like the evolved version of Symphonies of Sickness. You know, like that's a perfect selling point. You know, that's what I thought of. I thought of that. Then J-Dog says it so eloquently. And I'm like, yeah. I just said worship. So I just call this like Mortician worship. You know, but it didn't make Mortician any better or less, or these guys. It just is what it is. I like how these guys are like drum machine and everything. Drum machine samples and low. Now he's not as low as Will Romer, but fuck man, that's Will Romer you're talking about. You know, I gotta beat his lows. Except maybe Craig Pillard. But where's Craig Pillard these days? I don't even know. He's still alive? I hope so. Craig Pillard's awesome. So is Mortician. So is Fluids. Go listen to this. It's fucking badass. So, quote time. The cat could do it. Nah, bro, you better take that one. That's a big one. That's a big one. Okay, this is from a band. I know everybody's gonna cringe, but I like the quote. Here we go. Whoever appeals to the law against his fellow man is either a fool or a coward. Whoever cannot take care of himself without that law is both. There. I'm sure you all know where the quote is. If you don't know, go look in the comments. Someone's probably gonna tell you. So, appealing to the law against your fellow man. Yep, that is, I love talking to people, those thin blue line people. Now, I don't hate cops as far as first responders, like responding to a traffic accident or a horrible accident. Nobody says fuck the fire department. Nobody says fuck paramedics. Until you get a bill, like in the States, they'll send you a bill and you're like, there's like the best service you've ever had in your entire life. They got you, bro. You're taken care of. You get in that emergency room, they're like, boom, 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 you're done, get out. Oh, BT dubs. Oh, son of a bitch. I was wondering why they were rushing me out that door. There's a secret to paying those fuckers. So everybody overseas is like, you have the worst health care. No, we don't. We have the best health care. We just get charged on the back end. You can pay on the front end with health insurance, but I don't know. That's kind of a risk assessment thing you need to go through. I'm not telling you what to do. Just take some risk assessment there. And remember, if you're paying on the front, they can still charge you on the back. So watch out. Sometimes you're so quick to sign that dotted line. Again, law. You're appealing to the law. But that's health insurance. Somebody tried to make it a fucking law that we had to have it, huh? Don't want to name any names, but that only made the problem fucking worse. Not naming any names. So we have a comment. I want to read this one. Okay, the cat can read this one. Fenris Wolf 069. Fenris Wolf, you say? You must be commenting on the big video. It's got a red YouTube logo next to his name. What does that mean? Must be somebody of them. Import. Fenris Wolf says, you make one of the most important points here, no matter what it takes from, I don't know, mass brainwashing is all really the same, and it's just different coats of paint. The true struggles and triumphs of being a living animal on Earth far outweigh any invested issue or confused minds could come up with, either individually or as a group. Maybe someday we'll outgrow all these cages we've created that hold us back. Ding! But we might have to test and retest every avenue of our self-doubt, every avenue of doubt in our consciousness over generations to finally be ready for that. Okay, let's say that again. We might have to test and retest every avenue of doubt in our consciousness over generations to finally be ready for that. Yes, humanity's in a generational battle. It's always been not generation to generation, but how we progress and how we move forward. I know people look at the Bible and they're like, there was slavery in the Bible. There was slavery in America in the world up until about 300 years ago. And actually, you can argue now there's more slavery now than there ever was. They just bring up that triangle slave trade and they're talking about how bad it is, but they don't talk about your debt-based fiat currency, like how that enslaved a planet. And remember, every country that did not have a central bank got the fucking United States military boot up its ass. Don't believe me? Iran, Iraq, North Korea, China, recently Russia, Saudi Arabia, Libya, Vietnam. You see a trend here. Oh, Syria. Yeah, America's fought those people, haven't they? Yeah, Germany and Japan. They banded together under getting rid of central banks. Metastasized into something far different. Again, what did I say in the last one? What did you intend to do? What did you actually do? We're going to get rid of the central banks. Sounds good. Genocide. Whoops. But genocide is another one that's like, fuck man, humans been genociding each other for a long time. Oh, there was recently a language found in, I guess it was the Middle East or somewhere, where Genghis Khan's Mongol hordes went through there, and this one tribe was like, fuck y'all, we ain't doing shit you say. Yeah, that language and dialect and artwork and everything they had is gone. Like, it ended right there. They're like, oh, they're genetic haplogroups that you can tell, that their sister DNA and shit like that. Like, that DNA family line just ended right there. Like, there was never another one of those people again. Literally killed them to a person. Killed off all breeding pairs and then hunted the rest down. So, it's going to take generations for us to get out of this. But we will. We haven't had this fiat currency for as long as you think. We've only had it since 1913. And our country's been dealing with it since it wasn't even a country. We had to deal with it back when we were colonies because England was having to deal with it because England had been taken over by the same people. And France, and Germany, and Austria, and everybody else. We've only had it for 100 years, basically, in this country. Well, more than 100 years, but, 2013 until 2025, so I'm not doing math. Y'all do it. So we've been enslaved to a system that's gotten a couple generations. Remember, a generation's only 25 years. So we are one generation into the 21st century. Think about that. June 21st at midnight, you started the back half of the year. The back half of the year. It's the last half of the year there. And that was the last half of the year on the last year of the birth of the 21st century. From every moment forward, from that day, you are now in the first generation has been born and knows only this. So it's going to take a minute to shake off these cobwebs. We ain't had the problems for as long as you think we have. It just feels long. Anyways, Fenris goes on. It's easy to get stuck in a fight against the current issues. Yep. You always get stuck with the current thing, no matter what it is. I don't care what you're into, the current thing always gets you. Especially when they directly affect you. Yeah, and you've been forced to take some action, but keeping the wisdom of the big picture is always most important. Yep, we get bogged down in the day-to-day the day-to-day grind, the day-to-day fight, the day-to-day thing. And we forget, you know, there's some fights I'd like to have and they need to happen, but I would rather be doing so much more with my life other than fighting people over day-to-day shit, because that's a tactic. That's a tactic to keep us fighting ourselves so we don't unify against the big thing. And I've always been one of those people that, like, we should fight the big enemy. Why aren't we fighting the big enemy? Because you're afraid to lose. But I just discussed listening to me is rebellion. Thinking, speaking is an act of rebellion. That damn movie, Starship Troopers. I mean, that teacher. People hate that movie, but that teacher brings up valid points. It's kind of reflected in the book too. You know, voting is like the most powerful thing you could do. You know, having a voice, a say. But a vote has been bogged down, and modern votes don't even mean shit anymore. They don't feel like they do. So what's the next thing you do? Take action. What did that guy say? Violence. Violence is the supreme authority of which all other authority is derived. You can't shut me up. You cannot stop me, and I will no longer listen to you. That is an act of violence, and all I did was speak words into existence and just say, no, stop. I'm a free man. I do not have to fucking deal with this shit anymore. I have the right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, and you're infringing on fucking all of them simultaneously, and then chaining me to debt. That's the big picture. Thank you, Fenris, for getting. Remember, guys, the big picture. You're chained to debt. Wouldn't you like to be free of that? Wouldn't you like to be free of the constructs that keep you in that cycle? Breaking the cycle, breaking the chains. Just thinking about that. It's like I love working. I love to be useful. I love to be helpful. I love to provide things to people that are having trouble providing for themselves. And I do it for no other reason, just because it makes me fucking feel good. And I hate the fact that I can't do that more because I have to worry about debt and payments and shit like that. It's like I don't mind paying for stuff. I don't mind working and achieving and getting a reward or going out. I'm going to buy these albums because I want to hear them. I have no problem with that. I have a problem with, like, interest rates. It's like, oh, I owe more money on top of the money I already owe. Oh, my debt is accruing yet more interest. Where does that come from? It comes out of someone's fucking skull. They just fucking chain you to it, like, oh, your money's worth what I say it is. So Jerome Powell, your money is worth what I say it is based off how much money you give me. Give me more money, I'll make your money worth a lot. Give me less money, your money ain't worth shit. That's what the Federal Reserve and the central banks do. You're enslaved to them. And every president you've ever had, and every politician, governor, representative, and if you're over in one of those other countries, your parliaments are just as fucking guilty. They don't do anything. They don't say it. They don't fight that. You know why? Because in America, we tried to fight that. Andrew Jackson got rid of the banks. What happened to him? They shot at him, tried to kill him. He survived. What happened to McKinley? Same thing. Tried to break up Rockefeller. Tried to break up Rockefeller, caught a bullet. And what did Teddy do? Withdrew that fucking lawsuit. Big time, although Rockefeller did break up because there was another lawsuit hit him that they couldn't get around. So, who else? Garfield. James A. Garfield, I think, tried to stop the banks. Bobo. And then the big one, Kennedy. Kennedy created a whole new fucking currency. He literally had the paper money and the coinage stamped. Ba-boom! Like, that's why your politicians don't fight them, is because they can do that. Central banks can 100% do that. They can whack a fucking president. They don't care. That's probably the most dangerous thing to ever say on YouTube or online, is to do that. And I'll do it. I don't give a shit. I've been saying it for years in public. The first time I ever put it on a video and was like, there you go, fuck that. That's it. Federal Reserve Bank? Yeah, they kill presidents. Prove me wrong. Somebody get out there and prove me wrong. Be like that Steven Crowder, change my mind. So yeah, we got to get rid of currency literally as a concept in our minds. You want to get rid of it? You have to get rid of the concept. If you stopped paying your insurance premiums, there wouldn't be an insurance company tomorrow. Just telling you that for a damn fact. Y'all stop paying insurance premiums. Tomorrow there is no fucking insurance company. They're going. Let's do another one real fast. Lambda Ovine. I'm going to say this when people expect you to spend most of your waking adult life working a job you hate, doing bullshit that doesn't matter for the sake of making your boss rich in exchange for a wage. You're psychologically coerced into spending it in crap you don't want nor need to make another asshole rich. And when people like react like you're broken and ill for not wanting to spend the rest of your life doing that, that's fucking troubling. 100%. Never trust anyone who genuinely and questionably feels comfort in that dynamic. Yeah, that's exactly my point. You know, and I have no problem working. I have no problem earning a fucking wage. But the fact that, like, there's so much taxation and regulation and this and that and provisos and everything, everybody's got their hand out, wants a piece of that dollar that you just made. It's the only problem with making a dollar. Everybody wants a goddamn piece of it. To where at some point it's like, I'm working just to provide for you. Yes, if you are in the Western world, you are working to provide for the rest of the world. I'm not dogging the rest of the world, I'm not dogging you guys. You just don't have the abilities that we have over here. But you also don't have the problems we do. More money, more problems. That's how it is in the fucking West. And yes, you are caught in this endless cycle, in this endless loop of make, produce, spend, go. And it's that go. It's like, I don't want to go. I want to own my land and not have to be taxed on it. You know, I would like to go somewhere and not have to spend all this money and shit like that on fucking gas taxes and shit. It's for the fucking roads. They could build better goddamn roads. They don't want better roads. They want roads that break just enough so they can keep dudes on payroll to go out there and fix them. Now, I'm not talking all highway departments and all road crews, but that shit exists. I have seen it. Now, a lot of them do work hard. They do keep your roads clear of obstructions. But I've been to some places where, yeah, the road breaks just so they can fix it. You ever see that movie Falling Down with Michael Douglas or Kirk Douglas or whatever? Michael Douglas? Kirk Douglas? I don't know. It's that one where that normie goes insane, goes berserk, and then finds a bunch of guns from a gangbanger, and then just goes on a berserk rampage. Falling Down, that's a brilliant fucking movie. But yeah, he stumbles on the construction site. You go watch Falling Down. Especially you, Lambda Ovine. You might enjoy that character, even though you probably disagree with him because he's a white-collar suit and tie, by-the-book guy. But that's the beauty of the character. He's a by-the-book guy who goes berserk. Like the Killdozer. Ooh. We need to have National Killdozer Day. What? What's that guy's birthday? I don't want to do the rampage. I want to do the dude's birthday. Celebrate his life, not his death. Celebrate people's lives, not their deaths. But don't forget how they got taken out. What happened to that guy? Yeah, he put his money where his mouth was, and the government shut that shit down. So, yeah, we need National Killdozer Day. We need to celebrate that guy's birth. I don't know what it is, but somebody pitch it, and we'll take a vote, and we'll get that shit going. Us real motherfuckers will celebrate it. It shows up on Twitter. I just never remember. Never forget Killdozer. Alright, a couple minutes left. Guys, Bloodbath. Nightmare Made Flesh. Nightmares Made Flesh. That fucking album is awesome. Oh my god. Old school Bathory looking bullshit right there. Bloodbath, Nightmares Made Flesh. Yeah, that's a badass one. From the YouTube suggestion there. It's popping up in mine. Alright, let's do another one real fast. May 2002, got to be one of my favorite horror movies. It's a horror movie, May 2002. Never saw it. Any of y'all seen it? Any good? Josh, you out there? Also, one of the first I've seen that tackles the weird girl trope without making it fan servicey. Ah, yes. I do love the weird girl. I think we all love the weird girl. Every one of us loves the weird girl to an extent. I married one. It is every bit you would think it would be. If you've ever known the weird girl, yep, that is definitely what I got my hands on. But without making it without making it too cliche or too caricature. Yeah. Good. Now I want to see it just for that reason. Need to bring that up to the wife. That was Fluids, too. Just got wetter. Kind of Mortician worship, but I think it's more fun. You know, a lot more fun. Check it out. If you're like, oh, I like Mortician, but I don't know. It seems to be just slightly too much or slightly not enough. Check out Fluids. Maybe change your mind. You look at Mortician with a new light. You're like, oh, man, I get Will Romer so much more now. Well, anyways, thank you, Vile Slug Princess. Man, you got the coolest names. Vile Slug Princess for May 2002 suggestion. Sweet. All right, y'all. Cattle Pride. Appalachian Warlord. I forgot. Cattle Pride, Appalachian Warlord. See you next time.